What's going on, everybody? Stream will be starting very shortly. Just a couple more minutes. Let a few more people get up in here. If you're new to the stream, welcome to the pregame show. Do your boy a favor. Go ahead and hit that like button. Smash that like button as we get this show started. Let's do it. I want to know how y'all feeling. Make sure you share the stream. All right. And we are ready to go. What's going on, Commanders family? Welcome to another episode of Everything Commanders. Of course, I am your host, Dream Team Buddha. This is the live show today, the pregame show. Trying to wait for a few more people to get up in here that we're going to go over this little bulletin board I got set aside for us today. As you all know, we got the Los Angeles Chargers tomorrow, and we just about we're about 22 hours away from the game. And to say the least, this is a huge game for us tomorrow. So I'm just hoping and praying that these guys show up and put together a better performance than they did last week against the Atlanta Falcons, because I believe that last week is not a resemblance of who the Washington Commanders really are. So I'm going to give it a little more time, let a few more people get in here. If you're new and you in here, or if you just in here, drop down in the comments. Let's chat. I want to know how y'all feeling during this time. I know y'all should be excited. I know I'm excited for this game tomorrow. Let me know how y'all feeling. Chat with your boy. And if you're joining this stream, I appreciate you for joining this stream, because it's a beautiful Saturday right now. And maybe some people are out with their family, friends, loved ones, celebrating, enjoying this beautiful Saturday. So I hope everybody's having a great Saturday as we get ready for this I don't want to say must win, but much needed victory tomorrow. All right. Let me turn this music back on just a little bit so we can have that in the background and, But listen, we're not even going to play around. We're going to get straight to it because I won't be before you all too long. So let's just get right to it, man. Let's get right to it. All right. What's good, Commanders family? Welcome to another episode of Everything Commanders. Of course, I am your host, Dream Team Buddha. So today, this is the pregame breakdown. I will be doing this before every game from here on out. I've been dragging my feet on doing this, and I'm finally going to get everything in motion. So if you're watching, bear with me. This is the first show of this live, and we're going to get it popping. We're going to do this week in, week out, and, hopefully the best. Today we're going to be talking about the key players to watch on both sides of the ball, because it's going to be some key matchups. We're going to talk about the key matchups, and we're going to talk about the Commanders' game plan for success. And last but not least, we're going to go over the score prediction and the final thoughts. So, the first thing we can start with is, yesterday they came out with the final injury report. And in that injury report, we saw that it wasn't as worse as we thought it was going to be. At first, we didn't know who was going to play and who wasn't going to play, and who was going to play. The only person we knew that was going to play was Jayden Daniels, for sure. And it feels good to have Jayden Daniels back out there, because we most definitely going to need him tomorrow. As you know, we play the Los Angeles Chargers tomorrow at 4:25 p.m. Eastern, and I will have my eyes glued to the screen. I'm not sure if I'll go live for the game, but if I do, you all will know. Other than that, I'm just looking forward to seeing us playing some good football tomorrow. It's time to get back to playing good ball. Now, I can't say we haven't played good ball thus far this season, but we just inconsistent. And when you got these inconsistencies, this is what you get, a 2-2 record. And I think we left a lot out there on the field with all the miscommunications and, with Jaden Daniels getting hurt. Of course, we had the injury bug going on, and, a lot of our players are down. And it seems like we will get the full gang back next week. I'm hoping and praying for that. Of course, Terry McLaurin, he's not, playing or whatever the case may be. But Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown, them two guys won't be playing, but we did get John Bates back. John Bates will be playing. Debo Samuels will be playing. Mikey Sainristil will be playing. So we will have our guys out there tomorrow, and we definitely going to need it. And one thing will piss me off to see I'm about to say John Bates, to see Benjamin Stinky St. Juice get his revenge against the Washington Commanders, because he's looking for it. Because, he felt like we didn't cherish him here in Washington. I didn't, because I thought he was a bum commander. So if, how they came out with the joke of bum commanders or whatever, if it was a player that I can call a bum commander, I would say Benjamin St. Juice. And I ain't got nothing against him, because I thought that he would pan out to be a better player than what he was. And I had much better hopes for him, much high hope for him, and he just never turned out to be anything. He just didn't show up. He didn't show up, and I was hoping that he finally turn around, catch the ball, because he always was there when the passes was sometimes he was there, but when he was there, he was never looking to intercept the pass. And it used to piss me off, because a lot of times, if he would have caught those interceptions, just maybe we'd have won more games. But that's the old news, and he's with the Chargers now. And this matchup is more so about Justin Herbert versus Jaden Daniels, because if you paid attention, to the college days when Justin Herbert and Jaden Daniels faced off, Jaden Daniels, showed up in the fourth quarter and they won that game. They beat Justin Herbert's team, and he looking for revenge against Jaden Daniels. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I know they don't play against each other, but as far as both quarterbacks actually putting together some good ball play, I want to see how Jaden Daniels, how he performs. And then it's a lot of people that's sleeping on the Washington Commanders now, because Jaden Daniels been down for 2 weeks, and everybody thinks that we're washed, for real. Only us Commanders fans believe that we still have a chance to make some of the season. We're only 2-2, and I still believe that we will make the playoffs. I still believe that we have a shot at a Super Bowl, although our roster may not be screaming Super Bowl ready, but anything is possible. Last year, we were in the worst predicament than we are now, and we made it to the NFC Championship. So I still believe, I'm still optimistic, I'm still hopeful that we can put that work in, get on a right track, and start playing some good ball out there, so that way we can actually be playing games in the wintertime. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we will do that. So for the injury report, pretty much we got all our guys except for Terry McLaurin, Noah Brown, and I think Deron Payne will be playing too, so that's a good thing. But anyway, after the past 4 weeks, I think that there are some issues that's still here with the Commanders defense, and it's been here for a long time. Y'all already know when they bunch up the wide receivers or they put a player in motion, we be on license support. It's like we can't stop no team when they put the guys in motion. And, it's I did a film breakdown, and, I just chose to, display Marshawn Lattimore, but in that game against the Falcons, it was much more than Marshawn Lattimore making mistakes. And I'm pretty sure you all know about that by now, but, it's just that Marshawn, I expect more from him, as being our veteran corner. So, I'm going to go to the head, and I'm actually going to, put him on display outside of Trey Amos, Mikey Sainristil in the second year, and, Trey Amos is his first year. He's going to make mistakes, but he ain't exempt So, at the end of the day, they all got to play better, including Quan Martin and Jeremy Reeves, who filled in last week. So I think they got to play better. But when it comes to motion, we know that punish our secondary. And the reason I speak on that is because this team we're going up against got this one wide receiver who was drafted last year called Ladd McConkey. And this young man, okay, they moved this young man all over the field. And I'm worried about him. Now, I know Mikey Stainwell will most likely be checking him because he's in the slot. And it's going to be a hell of a matchup. So that's one matchup that I'll be looking forward to. Now, I don't know if they're going to, allow Mikey Stainwell to roam with him. I doubt it. So far, we have not done any roaming with any wide receivers. All we've been doing is kind of like playing man and, some zone, whatever the case may be. But we just don't show that that Joe Witt is has that much confidence in these cornerbacks in our secondary. So, I would love to see Mikey Stainwell stick with him because Ladd McConkey ain't no slouch, y'all. Like, I even got Ladd McConkey on a few tickets of mine, that I put together for my FanDuel tomorrow because I know for a fact that he's going to have himself a good day. Now, I hope it's not too much. I'm hoping that regardless of whatever day he has, that we still get that W because I would much rather be 3-2 than 2-3. 3-2 don't like playing teams who lose the week before and we got to face off against them because you're getting a team that's woke, a team that's hungry, a team that's going to try to go all out to make sure that they can lock in and get the W. And that's what happened with the Falcons last week because the Falcons felt like they had to get off to a fast start, and they did so. We didn't do anything to counter them getting off to a fast start, so they did what they did, and we lost the game. Offense, they put up 27 points, but it just wasn't enough, and I feel like if you put up 27 points, you should be able to win a game. Defense just wasn't there. So the Chargers lost to the daggone New York Giants last week, and granted, they are down their two left tackle, their two all-pro tackles, Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. Rashawn Slater already went down early in the offseason. He's done for the year, and may he get well soon. Also, Joe Alt, he was trying to go this week, but he has a high ankle sprain, and he won't be playing this week. So that is great news for the Commanders. So I expect our D-line to have themselves a day. I expect Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, and the rest of them guys to go out there and have themselves a day. Because you saw what it was like when we played against the Giants week 1. It looked like we had the better defensive front seven playing against Russell Wilson and the Giants week 1 than the Giants did playing against us. We already know they got a squad over there, and they was getting to Justin Herbert last week. They was putting the pressure on. He threw 2 interceptions, and the Giants are like the Giants that won a Super Bowl last week playing against the Chargers. Now, I'm hoping that we don't go in there and play conservative. It's time to put our foot on their neck. It's time to not let them up. If the Giants were beating on them and the Giants had them pinned down, we need to make sure that we come in and say, let me get it from here. I'm going to take it from here, and I'm going to hold them down on the ground. I'm going to keep on pounding. And that's no Diddy. I'm going to keep on pounding because we don't want to let you up. You could get better in another game, whatever the case may be, but we need this game. We need to be coming back to D.C. with the dub. Now, we are on the road, and this is the last road game before we play against the Chicago Bears. So we need to do what we got to do to win this game. And Ladd McConkey is a wide receiver that we must watch out for. Also, Quentin Johnston, too. He's kind of like starting to be that guy as well over there. He is what they say, they want to stop the explosives. And he is an explosive wide receiver. He's an explosive player, too, waiting to happen. I don't know how he became so good all of a sudden. At first he was kind of like looking lackluster, and he was looking like he wasn't going to pan out to be a good wide receiver. But for whatever reason, hey, they got things flying on all cylinders over there, and I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm just hoping they have a bad game against us. So I do like those matchups. Marshawn And the guys, you cannot be greedy this week, okay? Play your assignment and allow the ball to come to you. Play the man. Play the man. Focus on your guy. Last week, we let a lot of balls get behind us or whatever case may be because we were being too greedy. And, you know, we're going to need these guys to step it up. Now, I know I talk about the secondary a lot, but last week I was picking on the secondary because, for one, you know, I expect him to do better because the threat that was on the Atlanta Falcons, to more so to me, was Bijan Robinson, the running back. Now, we missed double-digit tackles. So I kind of knew that was going to happen because I felt like Bijan Robinson would do that against anybody. You know what I'm saying? You catch Bijan Robinson on a good day, and he looking like the number one back in the league. So I already kind of knew that, but I was hoping that we could hold him, you know what I'm saying, to a good number, and then, you know, we can actually, you know, shut down the passing game. You know, Drake London is him, whatever. But Kyle Pitts shouldn't have got off like he got off, and it's because they got off to a fast start. So what we need to do is get off to a fast start tomorrow. We need to come out there, no slow starts, no slow starts at all. We need to take it to the Chargers right away. Jaden Daniels back. Ain't no excuses. Take it to him. If it come down to 4th and 1, the first drive, go for it. Take it to him tomorrow. Because if we don't show that we aggressive, we going to be in trouble. We got to be aggressive. I don't feel like they was aggressive enough last week. And both of the games that we lost, I feel like they weren't aggressive enough. So we just going to have to be aggressive tomorrow. And as far as for the Commanders, you know, a player to watch, I would say Bill. I think that they understand that Ja'Cory Krosky-Murray is needed, not only by fans, but by the team as well. I think that Chris Rodriguez is definitely a light in the room. And, you know, make no mistake, I think he's a great back, but I don't think he is Bill Krosky-Murray. I think that we need to take the training wheels off him and let him go ahead and roar. Let's let him go. Let him get to it. You know what I'm saying? And I love the way that they trying to protect the players. But, you know, another part of me is saying, you know, let that boy go. Let him go. You know, let him go. So hopefully we can, you know, rely on the run game. And this means Jaden Daniels as well. And I know y'all see that Jaden Daniels will play tomorrow, and he will have that bulky brace on his leg. And some of y'all, you know, I saw on social media, some of y'all still feel like he shouldn't be playing today. And I know you extra cautious, and, you know, you worried if we would lose Jaden Daniels, whatever the case may be. We don't want that to happen. So let's knock on wood real quick. But he was cleared by the medical team. So I'm very confident in the medical staff so far. So I think that if he wasn't Jaden Daniels, they wouldn't let him play. So we just have to see. You know, eyes don't lie. So I know you all going to be paying attention very closely on Sunday when the warm-ups come and, you know, when the game started, see if he could hit a move or two, you know what I'm saying, when he's scrambling out the pocket, because we definitely going to need him to use his legs this week. I just don't want to see many designed runs. I want to see him play from the pocket this week. I want to see the guys run the ball, you know, to you know, actually, you know, stop the pressure from coming from the pass rush, because they're going to try to pin their ears back because they're going to think Jay Daniels can't do nothing. But they're a zone team. They play a lot of zone. And the last thing they played a lot of zone was the Packers. But here's the difference. The Packers got that world-class pass rush. You know what I'm saying? They got Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, Edgerrin James, Luke Van. They got everybody over there. So the Chargers ain't that. They traded away Bosa. You know, they ain't that. Khalil Mack snapped his arm weeks ago. They ain't that. But they can get to the quarterback. I will say that. They are a pretty decent front seven. And I think that we got to, I think we can win in the trenches, I think that we will do a great job in the trenches because they don't have that all-pro front seven like we faced against the Green Bay Packers. It ain't too many Micah Parsons out here, you know, and that's how Jaden got hurt running from Parsons, and he turned around and saw another guy going for his legs, Little dirty Bama. He was going for his legs, and when he hit his legs, he kind of flipped. So, hold up. So when he flipped, it just didn't look too good. But Jayden Daniels, man, as you know, Jayden Daniels is the kind of quarterback that don't get rattled. And when he do get rattled, it's because he's trying to do everything in his power to make sure that the Washington Commanders could get something going. If you think about it, every time that we getting spanked crazy, that's when he started doing heroic stuff. He started doing Caleb Williams type things. And that's the type of Jayden Daniels you don't want it. Can he do it? Yes, he can do it. But that's when I start getting worried. Like, hold up, I need y'all to have protection around JD5 at all times, okay? And when we have issues with the pass protection and stuff like that, Jayden Daniels, we get down on the scoreboard. Jayden Daniels don't like losing. That's because he's a competitor. And when you got that dog in you, you don't want to lose, so you're going to do whatever. So that's why he got hurt. I don't think he's going to get I don't think anything negative is going to happen Sunday. I don't even want to say it. I don't think anything negative is going to happen Sunday. I think it's going to be a great game. I think that Jayden Daniels is going to put on the show and put the rest of the league back on notice because they sleeping on it. They forgot about the Commanders for real, if you think about it. They're not even talking about us no more. They thinking, all you keep hearing is, well, what do you expect? The Commanders roster aren't Super Bowl ready. So, I don't expect them to win more than 8 to 9 games and all this. Where all this come from? And then you already showed the game picks for the week. Only one person think we're going to win. How many times have we seen this? When we played against the Packers, I know it didn't turn out right, but only one person picked us to win. And that's why I told you all this game will be a tough game. It's going to be a tough assignment, a tall task, but we got to figure out and get it done. That's how I see it. We got to get it done. We can't. Oh my God, we gotta. If we don't get the W. I don't even want to say it. If we don't get the W, what I want to see is they gave it everything they had. Blood, sweat, and tears. And we just didn't get the W. I don't want to see, we could have played better here. We could have did this. We could have did that. I don't want to see that. I expect to see a better performance this Sunday. So I'm looking forward to seeing Bill Krosky go to work, and then hopefully we can get another touchdown from Luke McCaffrey this week to step it up. But Deebo Samuel's got to step up too. The whole offense got to do a lot better, but the key is to run the ball. Now, that brings me to my what I want to say, my keys to the game, should I say. And first and foremost, I think the first thing is, under all costs, make sure that you protect Jayden Daniels. Protect Jayden with your life, okay? Protect him, okay? Try to keep him from not having to run the ball so much. I think we need to protect Jayden Daniels, and how you do so is by running the football. Stand balanced offensively. Now, we've been looking good the past few weeks. Even when we lost against the Falcons, the offense did well enough to win that game, as I stated before. And just run the ball a little bit more, man. Take the pressure off Jayden, man. Get him in a good rhythm. Start out short passes, quick passes. Those are like run plays as well. It'll keep the defense honest. Sometimes take a deep shot. Keep them honest. Make sure they can't crowd the box because they just seeing that we just running the ball and throwing short passes. So we got to make sure that we take a shot or two, even if we don't even intend on, hitting on that deep ball. But it's just something about when you take an attempt to get the deep pass going, they'll know, okay, they ain't afraid to throw it over the top. So we need those safeties to stay back. Okay, so whatever it's going to take to do that, but I just think that we need to run the ball. That's that's kind of like that's how you help Jayden Daniels. You protect Jayden Daniels. Run that football and get the ball out of Jayden Daniels' hands very quick. Do not let him drop back, 7-step drop back, sitting in the pocket trying to find a person who to throw to. Looking all, we don't need him to get to 2 or 3 reads. We need him to get that ball out of his hand ASAP. Keep my boy upright. Keep his jersey clean. And another key of the game I would say is defensively. Well, this ain't just defensively. This is both sides. Dominating trenches. Dominate in the trenches. Defensively, take advantage of them having a mediocre offensive line. And they need to look like they're a mediocre offensive line. They don't need to look like they are a good offensive line. We already know they down Joe Alt. They down Rashawn Slater. And they playing with they playing with two backups on the outside. I think Pipkins, whatever his name is. And then they got their interior line ain't the best. So I need to see those guys hunting. We need to win in the trenches, offensively and defense. Just like I said, they pass rush ain't the Green Bay Packers pass rush. We need to win in the trenches. If we don't dominate tomorrow in the trenches, I'm gonna be pissed off. Cause it shouldn't be no excuses. We're pretty healthy along the trenches. Outside of losing Deatrick Wise, we should see Preston Smith this week. I want to see more from Dorrance Armstrong, Frankie Louvu. I want to see more from especially Deron Payne. I know he was a little hurt or whatever the case may be, but Javon Kinlaw, all that trash you talk, well, not trash, all that you was talking in front of the camera saying you got to do better, you ain't had your best game and you missed a lot of tackles. It's no need to talk. We just got to do. I need to see that this Sunday. Bully those boys, man. Bully those boys, and I believe that we will. I believe that we will. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to. And last but not least, as far as my keys to the game, I'm going to say we need turnovers. Win the turnover battle. Don't give up the ball. Create turnovers. We had one interception last week. I think that was our first turnover of the season. And we are in week 5 now. Create some turnovers. Punch the ball out. Do what you got to do. Get that ball. We need turnovers. If you can't create turnovers in the NFL, you're going to be in trouble. So that's one thing I think you got to do. Create some turnovers. Like, and the way you do that is if everybody stay to their assignment. Don't get greedy. Like Joe Witt said, a lot of guys, they're going for the interception because they see social media. They see how we're talking about them. They see how we're upset with them, especially Marshawn Lattimore. He stay on social media. I follow him on Instagram. I don't know if you all do, but he stay on social media, whether he promotes some concert or whatever the case may be. So it lets me know that he not only be posting stuff to social media, he got eyeballs on social media. So when we talk about how he been getting cooked recently, so forth, so it plays on his mental. And I'd be wrong if I said, hey, don't do that, y'all, because I feel the same way too. I feel the same way you feel. I feel like Marshawn should be playing way better. Right now, it look like we invested into a corner that really can't help us for real. But I don't want to believe that, and I'm still trying to be patient with him. And I know it's been 4 games, and it started last year, but he played better as the season went on. He played better, and it's early right now, and I believe that he will be better off with the team. Tomorrow, Quentin Johnston, he is a big body 6'4" receiver, and every time you see Marshawn on a big body receiver, he always tugging and pulling on him. He getting called. And I think the issue is the guys he be playing, we play so far off the ball that Marshawn feel like he's left on an island. Like I feel like Marshawn is best. He play best at corner when he's in your face. Line of scrimmage, in your face, get rowdy with you because that's the way he play. I think that although Marshawn, he like playing the bigger receivers. I want to see Trey Amos checking Quentin Johnston tomorrow. I don't want to see Marshawn on him primarily the whole game for real. But I definitely want to see Mikey Sainristil checking Ladd McConkey. But I'm just optimistic, and I believe that we will play a lot better. I don't know what that's going to look like, but if we do those 3 things, I feel like we should come out the game. Well, since we there, my score prediction, I believe that the Washington Commanders will win tomorrow's game 21-17. And I think it's going to be a close game. And I think the Commanders will get off to a good start. And then you'll see the Chargers trying to climb back in, and then we somehow find a way to, lead the game with the dub, So I'm hoping that I don't care how it turns out. I don't care how we do it. The main point is to get the dub. The main point is to get the dub. So I want to know how many people we got in the chat. Shout out to those that's in the chat right now. There's only a few people in the chat right now. If you're in the chat, man, make sure you smash that like button. And I want to hear from you all real quick. Let me know how you all feeling, because we're going to hang out for a couple more minutes. I just want to know how you all feeling. And, yeah, let's see how you all are feeling. My boy King, he said, hello, Eagles fan here. God bless y'all. Got a great squad, and I think we'll see each other in the NFC Championship game. Listen. I love to see that. I love to see it. I want my revenge. I'd love to see that. So, if we see you all in the NFC Championship game, I wouldn't mind it at all. But I know right now we probably ain't ready for the Eagles right now, even though y'all playing some bad football offensively. But guess what? Y'all finding ways to win games. And I'm looking forward to seeing where we will be when it comes time to play you all at the end of the season, because we play y'all twice to close out the season. So, yeah, I look forward to that. But as far as this game tomorrow, when you see this stream, because there's not many people in here, and I don't really stream that often, so I'm going to make sure that I stream a little bit more. Hopefully we'll build up a fan base to, a family that we can actually do these live streams together. I got my guy, who is this right here? Our pass defense is bad. That is true. I'm trying to see if I can get these onto the screen so that way we can read them out loud. Well, if you're paying attention and say our pass defense is bad, I agree. What do you think is the reason for the poor play, in the back end? Because if you ask me, I believe, it's not only, you can't put your finger on a single player, but it seems like when it comes down to it and it's time to lock in and, get a stop, it's always seeming like they targeting Marshawn Lattimore. And one thing I don't like about Lattimore, I think he still can play, but if you can get in his head, he just don't play that well. I think he becomes he becomes an average corner. Once you get in his head and you create some big play, and before you know it, you'll start seeing a whole lot of defensive pass interference penalties, and you'll see him crying. He pushed off and all this other stuff. It'd be a lot, man. So, if what'd be wonderful to see, will be so refreshing to see. What if tomorrow Marshawn Lattimore get a pick six? We talk so much shit about Marshawn Lattimore. Just what if he get I don't think it's gonna happen, but what if he was to get a pick six tomorrow? Especially first half or something like that. I'll be like, you know what? I salute. But I don't know how excited I'll be, because I feel like you way behind, But what if it was to get a pick six or something like that? That'll be lit. What you say? You said maybe, like you said, too much cushion. Yeah, it's too much cushion, bro. It's too much cushion, because if you can get up in the grill of the wide receiver, and you can throw off their rhythm and timing of the quarterback, it'll help the defensive line get to the quarterback. If you pay attention to Michael Penix Jr., he had all day to throw the ball last week. All day. We wasn't getting to the quarterback at all. And that's because he was able to get the ball out of his hands so quick. I mean, I'm talking about on 3rd and 2, we playing 10 yards off the ball, quick pass right to Bijan Robinson or Drake London, or Kyle Pitts. It was just too easy. It was pitch and catch. Okay? I mean, I was screaming at the TV like, bro, stop what you're doing. Play up. They can't beat you over the top. Even though Marshawn got beat on that double pass play, he still caught out with the Drake London. He wasn't going to beat him over the top. That's why I understand why he was playing back so far. Now, I don't know if it was his fault or Joe Witt's assignment. I don't know which one it is. We don't play DB, and we don't know what the play was called. The play call was, but what the way Joe Witt made it seem like was when he made his press conference, he made it seem like it was the defense that was the issue and not his play calling, not his scheme. He made it seem like the players were the issue because the players were going back and forth or whatever the case may be. So, you know, I ain't like that at all anyway. I ain't like the fact that he ain't take the blame. Like, I feel like if you the head, if you the coach, then, you know, you don't got to throw nobody on the bus. And he pretty much, he didn't name any names, but he pretty much did one of those situations where as though, you know, you and your buddy in a car, you get pulled over by the police and the police say, well, whose weapon is this in the car? And then you get up and say, officer, all I'm saying is it ain't mine. It ain't my weapon. That's all, and it's only you and your boy in the car. So you pretty much snitching, but at the same time, you just ain't told, you ain't said the name, you ain't point the finger, cause you saying that it ain't the defense, it ain't the scheme. It just people missed assignments, and you start talking about the first play where Kyle Pitts caught that pass down the seam. Yeah, I saw it too. When I looked at the all-22, I didn't know who fault it was. I seen Jeremy Reeves come up. He gave the signal to Trey Amos. Trey Amos looked at him at the last second. I don't know if he really understood what he was saying. That's why I said when you communicate, you got to make sure that you communicate and then you receive it and then you can spit it back out. Because Jeremy Reeves got to it at the last minute, and by the time he was pushing up, Trey Amos thought that, because Trey Amos tried to relay a message to Jeremy Reeves and them too. It looked like he was trying to tell them to play the seam, and Reeves was telling him to play the seam, and they was all from the wrong page, and here go Kyle Pitts running right past him. So, but it's to be expected from the young guy. It's to be expected from Trey Amos. It's his first year. But everybody else don't have an excuse. Marshawn don't have an excuse at all. So I'm not giving him a pass at all. But we definitely gotta do better, man. You said I think they missed some tackles on the pass. Yes, we missed a whole lot of tackles, and it's sad. It's sad. We missed a whole lot of tackles. So we got to do better. No Visible. Not Visible. That's your name. I don't know if that's your real name or not. But yeah. So what's y'all score predictions real quick before we get out of here? Do me a favor. Drop down in the chat your score predictions. How you think the game gonna turn out, and you know at the end of the game, what will the game look like? That's what I want to know. I want y'all to drop that down in the comments and let me know what it will look like. Drop that down in the comments real quick. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification. Turn the bell notifications on so that way I can keep you in the know with everything Commanders. Like I said, we will be doing this pregame show before each and every game. Maybe the day before, or it may be 2 days before. But it will be weekly, and we will be going live to get used to this live thing. And hopefully we can get a party going on to the point where as though we in this joint, we hanging together, Commanders family as one, as we get ready for whatever opponent we face the following week. Because you know, whatever opponent we face that week, because next week we play the Chicago Bears. So we definitely going to be in here going live, and we're going to turn up and celebrate the victory before the game, because we're going to get that W. But anyway, that's going to do it for your boy. Like I said, my final score prediction, the Commanders 21, the Chargers 17. We win the game, move to 3-2 on the season, and yeah, that's what's up. But anyway, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Long live my brother Rico. May he rest in peace. I love you, bro. Continue to watch over me and the family and these Washington Commanders. I'm definitely going to catch y'all on the next one, y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Go Commanders. Left hand up.